Hi, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliott and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today, we're gonna be answering your questions and comments. I know that videos like this have been a little bit low, but I'm just really trying to get these ski reviews out for you guys. And especially, we've had a couple of storms and I didn't do a ton of powder skis, but the ones I had, it's like, gotta make hay while the sun's out. So anyway, let's just jump right into it. But if you guys like independent channels like mine, where we don't take money from ski brands, consider using our affiliate links if you're shopping. That's a free way to support the channel. Or we also have a channel Patreon. And so a big shout out to the patrons already on there, but if you haven't joined and you like this content, consider joining. But anyway, without further ado, let's jump into your questions. First question comes from, or comment, I guess, comes from Ballistic JT 2 days ago. They say, wish Salomon would work with you. You're the reason I bought the QST 92s, and the QSTs are awesome, by the way. That's a really nice comment. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, I made a lot of QST content a year or two ago, and it is unfortunate. I don't know what else to do. Salomon doesn't want to work together. I've sent a bunch of emails following up, and they're just like, oh, you don't need to reach out to us. Or I think the third party person was like, they'll reach out to you. It's like, all right. The other problem with Salomon right now is that typically that would be fine. And they've only ever sent one pair of skis, the Stance 90s. So all of that QST content I made, the QST 92s like you're talking about, I paid for the demos out of pocket. But my local shop, McHugh's, I've had a couple, they're a great shop, I have no issue with them. But I had a couple of like kind of roadblocks. One, they weren't demoing if you were skiing at Bogus because of the coverage, because we had such a rough start to our winter. They would not allow me to demo skis just because they didn't feel like there was enough coverage up my mountain, which I've never seen. It's like, oh, so I guess if I'm going to Brundage, like, oh, okay. So that was a barrier. And then I called them yesterday and they're like, oh, we will demo ski. So I went there and none of the QST 100s or 94s that were there were in my size. And I don't even think, I saw on paper they had a QST 106, but I went there, there were none there. It could have been, the person there seemed a little bit new, so maybe there's a whole nother rack that I didn't see. But right now, either they don't have the ski that I'm looking at for that day because it was a powder day and I wanted to try the QST 106s, or day after a powder day. But the QST 100s and 94s that they did have were way too short for me. They were like 172, 168, things like that. So not only was I not able to test them based on the like snow conditions at Bogus, I also just don't think I'm going to be able to based on the size ranges they had available. That may change in the future. It's also wild to me. Like I was doing the math and the amount of people who used affiliate links and bought Salomon skis. I went to Salomon and was like, hey, like, if I don't have access to these skis, I can't make this video. And like, people use this information. It's helpful to them. And I don't know, Salomon has no interest. I saw what they took. They took Free Skier Magazine out to France, and Free Skier Magazine videos get like 1/10 the views. Ski Essentials makes sense. They get views and they do a good job. I got no hatred for them, but it was just funny. I was like, this seems just like it's personal at this point. So yeah, I don't know. The only way I have forward at this point would be to buy Salomon skis. But then the issue to me on that is that like, I don't think the build quality for Salomon or Atomic or Armada that I've seen, because I bought their Armada declivities and all these Atomics, and the build quality, after a few days of skiing, like they're starting to fray at the tips. I had the issue with the QST 106s, and they're kind of stingy with their warranties. So that doesn't make a ton of sense to me to like throw money at the wall and then, have it get damaged and have a hard time selling it later. Or it's damaged and I'm passing it on to somebody else on Facebook Marketplace. I think at this point, honestly, I'm just gonna not review Salomon skis. Like if they have no interest, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. I would like to do it for people who want to know about the product. So I'm very torn. I'm in this weird spot where I'm like, I wanna help you guys out. So if I get access to a demo ski, I will try to review Salomon where I can. But at this point, I've seen such degradation with Amer Sports products and the build quality that I'm not in a huge rush to go out and buy them. They don't wanna work together. If I do it, it will be out of my care for you guys and wanting to get you guys content that helps you. But it's like, I don't highly recommend at this point buying any of these Amer Sport products. Honestly, there's a couple that I like here and there, but they seem to not be that worried about build quality. They seem to not be that worried about working with independent reviewers. And I don't know. I'm at an impasse at this point. I'd love to review more Salomon skis, but I can't demo them. They don't want to send anything. And I don't know, maybe just wait. If you wait to buy QSTs until somebody independent can review them. I hate to say that, but like, I think the best thing you can do is reach out to them directly and tell them you want Rickety Ski Reviews to review it. I've been shouting at the mountaintops at them. That's probably the most that like you guys can do as a community. And I don't know, wait until Salomon pulls their head out of their butt. I'm sure that didn't help. But for real, until they're willing to like do anything, I think I'm just at an impasse. And I honestly, like, a lot of skis, like, you know, if I'm buying them out of pocket, it's like, okay, well, like, I like the skis, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I just am kind of like over it with purchasing Amer sports products in general because of how bad, anecdotally, I've had of an experience with their build quality. So it's kind of a heartbreaking answer. I'll try my best if I can. If I see something at the demo shop that I can do, I'll do that for you guys. But at this point, spending thousands of dollars on Salomon skis, when I've had negative experiences and they don't want to work together, just negative experiences anecdotally for build quality, doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I hope something changes, but that's where we're at right now. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. But that being said, there are brands that I am like working with, or even stuff I've bought out of pocket that I am excited about. And I would look at some of that stuff. There is some really cool stuff coming out. Like, I've got reviews of the new head core line that I think is fantastic. I think they took that upgrade really seriously. The Rossignol arcades that I reviewed were awesome. There's so much cool stuff out there. It's a little bit like a birthday party. You can get focused on who didn't come to the birthday party, but then you lose sight of the 8 different people who are at the birthday party. So, yeah, I don't know. I'd rather just focus on the cool stuff I do have on the horizon because there's some skis I'm really passionate about. There's a couple of reviews on the horizon that I'm super jazzed about, or some that I'm really critical, which is also cool content in my opinion. Okay, next question. Let's see. Okay. ACAP Tech says, I love demoing these. This is the Stockli Stormrider 88. Do you also think these feel like a more premium Kendo Mantra? They felt like they had a similar Volkl pop. I think they're just different. I mean, and I think that Volkl makes really premium skis. Like, the build quality on them has been fantastic. I just think that they're doing different things. Like, I think the Stockli is more concerned with smoothness on edge and with dampness. And then Volkls are very damp, but I feel like those are a little bit more concerned with power. And also they're just a very distinct cut and feel. Like, on a Volkl, where it bites is very much underfoot. It's a very distinct feeling ski on the Mantra 84, 88, M7. So I think it's just more of like a ski style that it targets, while also doing a ton to like get through bad conditions and have a rewarding turn. But I wouldn't say that like Stockli is the premium Volkl, even though I get that you're seeing the LKL. But Volkl are very well made. They're not cheaply made. They do a tremendous job. They just suit different styles and certain preferences, but they're both tremendous skis. And I'd say that Stockli is more concerned with smoothness, and you're paying that premium price for a smooth turn. Whereas Volkl is very much like this ski style specifically, directly underfoot, and, you know, a powerful turn all the way through. Great question. All right, Rob G8578 says, need you to try Moment skis, specifically a Death Wish 104 would be interesting. That is a great recommendation. I actually reached out to Moment and they said that they were willing to work with me. I'm not gonna be sent skis, but it looks like they're trying to meet me in the middle, and that may be some content that could happen. They've been really nice. We're trying to find a way to work it out. It's really tricky because buying Moment skis is tough for me because it is a little bit more niche. So like, you know, if I'm using channel funds to buy skis, there has to be like either enough views or it's like demanded by the people at Patreon who are paying for that like subscription. So I try to balance those two things. And I think Moment is just niche enough that I don't quite know how the video will do, or it's not even like a metrics thing. It's more of like, how many people am I helping with this video? So you said the Death Wish 104. If you guys can let me know, like, what are the staples of Moment? And if I am gonna buy one pair of skis, what is the one that you wanna see? Because it's hard, you know, people wanna see stuff obscure, but then you have like the Salomon Depart video that didn't do so hot. And, you know, so just let me know what you want specifically. I'm really trying hard to work with Moment. They've been super nice. I just have to figure it out. It's also hard too. A lot of their skis are powder oriented. And with this season and with the weather we have now, it's a big gamble if I can even get on a wide ski. Like the Countach 110 looks awesome, but I don't want to put it in sun-baked, spring snow. So, I also want the conditions to be fair to the ski. So I am trying though. Moment is a work in progress, and they've been very accommodating and nice so far. All right, next one comes from BJC Meadows. Great review as always, Elliott. That being said, for Stockli, you don't have to spend $1,400 for good build quality. Over the past 30 years, I've skied over 10 brands for multiple seasons, and I've never had undue top sheet chipping or delamination after 3 or 4 days. I really think the durability aspect is overblown. One of the best patrollers and skiers I know has an old pair of Icelandics with pretty much no top sheet anymore. Doesn't matter, still can't catch him. Conversely, I have a 10-year-old pair of Head Monster 99s that cost me $300 and have just one top lamb chip. Over 400 days on them and still skiing strong. I think that I would have agreed with you 1 or 2 years ago, but currently some of these brands are really cutting corners. Like for instance, I have a 2023 Atomic Maverick. The only issue I've had is from my crash, which fair enough is not necessarily an atomic issue, although whatever. They told me the Titanal wasn't structural. Like how much more structural could it get? But these, like last year or two, the Armada declivities, it's more than just top sheets. I mean, that is bad. Like after a day or two, it shouldn't do that. But it is, hey, like this ski is not loading consistently. Like this feels like a lemon pear, or they're not holding their shape. Even I'm gonna talk about this in my Bent 120 re-review, but the Bent 120 doesn't feel like it has as much spring as it used to after 1 year of skiing. I really think that what you're talking about is anecdotal from like a 10-year-old pair of Head Monster 99s. I'm not talking about that. I'm not even talking about like 3 or 4 years ago. I'm saying 2026 skis, I am seeing some concerning trends with build quality. And also like, and they are all under the umbrella of Amer Sports that I'm seeing, and that's the concerning trend. I'm not here like trying to just get on a soapbox. I'm here because if you're spending your hard-earned money, you should know how the skis are holding up over time. It's also a huge blind spot in the industry. A lot of the people who go to these ski test events, maybe you're skiing 1 run, 2 runs, 3 runs on a pair of skis, maybe skiing on them for an hour and then you give them back. You are not seeing how they hold up over time, and then the consumer is left holding the bag when their skis don't last more than a season. That's what I'm concerned about. And what I'm also saying is like, that's the value of the ski. If I can ski on a Stockli for 5-10 years and it's giving me the same performance versus a pair of Atomics where I'm only getting a season or 2, that is, for me, as somebody who likes to take care of their stuff, less value. So I think that when you're saying 1 is like also not the right time period, but 2, you have to look at like the big picture for what is the value of the ski. If you don't care about that, if you get new skis every year and then you get rid of them, whatever, maybe it's not relevant to you, but for a lot of people, that's not the case. And I want consumers to know what they're getting into before they spend their hard-earned money. All right, Fritz Frank says, I obviously prefer better conditions, but I just want to ski. The only thing I don't like is the rain, but I bought a waterproof outer layer. There you go. Oh, what's that old like Swedish saying? Like, there's no bad weather, only bad clothing? I forget. I butchered that. Okay, Mantra M7s with the proper wax, and I'm out there anyway. The season is normally so short here in the East. That is such a great attitude. I mean, I say that all the time. I'm from Vermont, and the amount of like pickiness I see out in Idaho or wherever out west is phenomenal. Yeah, I think a lot about that. As long as the snow is skiable and you're not too picky, you can have a lot of fun. And that's a good like mantra for skis in general. If you're not too picky, you can have a lot of fun. But there's also like, that can go either way. Like you can be in the totally wrong ski and have it be unsafe. But that's a nice thing. I really think that if I, owned a ski company, that would be the growing market for me, is these Crud Cutter skis, the Nordic Enforcer, the M7 Mantra, the Stockli Stormrider. Stuff that can ski well in bad conditions really provides a ton of value to people. And I think that that's a really good sector, or it's going to become more and more a staple of people's ski quivers. You have your daily driver, your powder ski, and the Crud Cutter. And I think the Crud Cutter is going to become more and more important as time goes on with unpredictable ski conditions. Great comment, thank you. All right, Simon Orn 594 on the Stockli Stormrider 88 review says, top tip, look pivots aren't great on these. Yeah, I bet. I found they ski way better with a raised binding to get carving leverage. Great review. I mean, I've gotten so much flack and I've gotten pushback from other channels on this. I like the look pivot. It's well made. It's close to the ground. It is not a good carving binding in general, but especially on a Stockli like that, yeah, I can see where that went awry. I mean, it just, like, edge angle is important, and being that close to the ski means that it's just a lot more latency getting edge to edge. The other thing I forgot to mention in my Stormrider 88 review, Stockli is the easiest ski to mount. They have the holes like pre-drilled for the bindings. What a phenomenal idea. It's just like every turn and every corner and every kind of new stone I turn over with Stockli, there's some really thoughtful surprise behind it. So anyway, that's relevant to like 4 people mounting their own skis, but I was very pleasantly surprised at how easy it was to mount the Stormriders up. So anyway, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to join the Patreon, or if I missed like a Patreon message that you wanted covered on the channel, let me know. I try to prioritize that stuff. If you're shopping for skis right now, we have affiliate links down below. We are also going to start our deals video next week. I think that I've got kind of some insider information that there's gonna be some pretty killer deals next week. So I'm gonna put that together hopefully for you guys. Feel weird promising it, but I'm gonna try to deliver it. As always, though, thank you so much for watching. I really couldn't make this content without you guys. Thank you for commenting. It always is nice to interact with you guys. I also just appreciate how nice everyone's comments are. Like, if I don't get to a comment right away, people are always replying and help each other out. I always say this, but like, people will be like, oh, aren't you excited to grow to X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, I don't care about that. I should, but I care more about like the quality of community I have is way higher than anything I could have expected. And I'd rather have a good community as opposed to just having a large community for the sake of it being large. So thank you for being a part of that community. Thank you for leaving nice comments and helping each other out. I really appreciate it. And of course, as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.
I think if I go left